Okay, so welcome everybody to today's presentation. Just a couple of housekeeping things. If you could just keep yourselves on mute while the presentation is going on, then feel free. And I think we'll be doing a lot of speaking anyway, so you could unmute yourselves to ask any questions and to talk. And if you feel more comfortable, use the text chat, and that's okay too. I'll monitor that. So I wanted to welcome back our speaker, Holly Marie Conway. I think she was here back in winter-ish time. So welcome back. I'm just going to read a little bit of a bio about her. So Holly Marie is a former aircraft structures technician with a background in composites technology. Her work can be found on Diamond Aircraft's DA-40 and Boeing 787 Dreamliner. She is an alumni of Sioux College. Holly Marie Conway began her public speaking career at the age of 9 on the recommendation of her speech therapist. She pushed past her stutter to compete in contests run by the Royal Canadian Legion, Optimist Club, and the Royal Canadian Air Cadet League. As an adult, she competed in Toastmasters competitions and held multiple leadership positions in the organization. In 2016, she attained the status of Distinguished Toastmaster, joining the ranks of 2% of all Toastmasters worldwide to hold the designation. Nowadays, she uses extraordinary skills and experience to coach others in speaking for presentations, compete for business pitches, and elevate the status of her nonprofit employer, Community Living, in fundraising and awareness campaigns. So welcome, Holly Marie.
Hello, everyone. I see some movement. Want to see your live? This is a very interactive workshop. So it can be very short if you guys get really shy. So I'm all about, you got to walk the talk. And I know that was a big bio, but most of the time you don't have a minute to introduce yourselves, do you? 10 seconds is all that you really need, and sometimes even 5. I give the 10 just for the little training wheels, but a lot of the times I can do something like, hello, I'm Holly Marie. I'm the best speaking coach that you've never heard of until today. I'm the owner and operator of Strength Through Speaking, and call me if you're ready to elevate your business by speaking out for it. Boom. I can guarantee that was probably around 5 seconds, and I can do 50 different times of these. You can even use this whenever you're going to family events. I could be like, hey, I'm Holly. I'm the daughter of Carl. I'm in charge. I am always in charge of cups and plates because I make the world's worst potato salad. Hit me up next time we go, and don't worry, I got the Costco version of all the plates, so you know it's not going to fall through. You can literally use this for anything you go. Now, at first, it may seem a little awkward. Everything when we're learning it always is. Remember your ABCs, the times tables. Everyone remembers the times tables. Whether it was easy or hard for you, that was a stumbling block. Whether you went to college, trade school, university, or just learning things on the job, it always feels awkward at first, but the best way you can do anything is by doing it. I come from a trade background, as you hear, so I encourage you guys to speak a lot today. There's going to be some notes. I normally don't do slides because I am very conversational, but today there will be 3 slides. And as I was telling Lori, there's literally only one that's really important, and you can take notes for that one. It's 5 lines and that. So let's start by sharing the screen. Boosh. Yay! Welcome to our workshop, 10-second intros. I literally could have had that up there with this as I went along. But as I said, I normally don't use slides, but that's okay. People seem to like them more and more. And I kind of wanted to show off my new logo. Look at my new logo, guys. See, even in my business, I'm always refreshing. Not constantly, but you got to keep with the times, right? So now you know my name, you know my business name, you know this workshop. Guaranteed you'll remember because that's who I am. I'm a memorable person, but you don't need to be outgoing to make a difference. You really don't. In that you need to know who you are and who your audience is. So I want you to take a note of that. That's something that's not printed on there, but it's something that every client I have, every organization I go with, who are you and who is your audience? And I swear, if you say my audience is everyone, I'm going to reach through this computer and smack you, because it is never everyone, ever. Unless you have some kind of alien technology that can beam your message to every single person on Earth at the same time, your audience is never everyone. So, by show of hands, who's ready to see the 5 lines for your 10-second intro? I want to see hands. I want to see some movement. I'm hearing impaired, so movement's really cool with me. Yeah, emojis, love it. Come on. Oh, it's being mean. We're gonna stop the share for a second. Boosh. Ah, there we go. It doesn't like us. Now it does. Greeting, name, hook, title, call to action. And literally you can mix and match all of these. It's just my preferred kind of little set in the organization. That's what it is. Just taking a look in the chat. I always check that as well because I'm hearing impaired, and I know that sometimes communication is best in text as well. So thanks, Angie. I really like my logo too. I found someone who's amazing at that because I am horrible at this. I can talk all day. I can teach all day. I can run so many things. I cannot design. So yeah, and it was a woman entrepreneur in Ontario. I know how to spend my money. Yeah. So greeting, that's pretty self-explanatory. Hello, bonjour, hey. Apparently that's something I say a lot. It fits with me. If you're a formal person, use a formal greeting. If you're a casual person, use a casual greeting. If you're talking to your grandmother versus your friends, use appropriately. It all goes back to using those 2 things. Who are you and who is your audience? Your name, use your preferred name. I am Holly Marie. I am not Holly. I am not Molly. Holly, no, just people keep shortening my name. However, the one time you are allowed to mess up my name is if you're a francophone, because I swear this is a universal thing. They call me Holy Mary, and it's hilarious every single time. Yeah, but I am Holly Marie. How do you want to be referred to? Your name is very important. You may glance over that, but people need to know how to address you. If you're running a school for etiquette, you want to be Miss Manners, not Joe. How are you supposed to be referred to? The hook. What makes you interesting? What makes people want to come see you? Even insurance can be interesting. Serious. Mm-hmm. The hook is why people should be interested in you. And have a variety of them because everyone's different. The way I speak to PARO is different than what I speak to individual entrepreneurs, because one's asking for workshops and the other one's asking for coaching. And even then I divide it down. Some people are looking to get coaching for presenting. They're asked to do a webinar like these. There's more and more of people being asked for them. You know, people aren't natural presenters. Others, they're going for money. They're going for pitches. How I'm going to hook them is going to be different. And I recognize this. I'm always thinking, I'm always preparing. I always got to know what's going to be, because less is best. I know you hear less is more. No, not really. Less is less. It's not really more, but less is best. You'll notice I keep repeating things. It's to help you soak in and everything. So figure out the different ways that you are interesting, your business is interesting, and that what is interesting to that individual. Again, that audience that's in front of you, even if it's an audience of one, some of my most important audiences in my life have been an audience of one, and they've made the difference. Sometimes it's 3 people, sometimes it's just times you didn't realize how important it was. And you maybe spoke for 10 to 30 seconds. People kind of start to forget, like as an hour goes on, different things, unless it's one of those really soul searching conversations that we have a few times in our lives, few times in a year, depending on how social we are. The less you say, the more people remember you. You just got to choose which words are the most important ones. Next is title. Title is just up there with name. Are you working for someone? Are you working for yourself? Like, what's your title in this situation? You saw me refer to myself as daughter of Carl. In that situation, I was at a family reunion. French Catholics, you know, they're like bunnies. And that they got to know how you connect into this web. In the other introduction, I told you, I'm the owner operator of Strength Through Speaking. You have to know that I'm the big bitch on top. You got to know I'm the one running things. You know exactly how important I am by my title. And that in nonprofit work, and I really need to update that with PARO because I'm now full-time in this end of my contract, I was the admin assistant. You really need to know who the admin is because they're the gatekeepers, right? So it doesn't matter if you're working for someone else or working for yourself or just out in a social setting. People need to know what your connection to this situation is. Okay, they need to know exactly who you are. So titles up there with name. People think, my name, my title, nothing. No, these are very important. People need to know exactly who you are. Have you ever been in a conversation and wondered who exactly someone is? You're like, well, I talked to them. 20 minutes of my life went by. I'm still not quite sure what I got out of that conversation, but it happened. And the last one is call to action. I tend to like having call to action because the first and the last tend to be the most memorable thing, but especially the last. It's about, you know, object permanence, about audio retention. Your call to action is what's going to bring in the sales, right? Because in business, we have to sell. Even charities, and that they have to quote unquote sell, they have to get donations, they have to find a way to bring in income. And that call to action, again, it's dependent on your audience, depending on your time. Do you have a product line out? Are you the best in your field for a certain service? Are you looking to hire? And that, like, even when you're expanding, and that, because getting the right staff means a better business, which means more income. It's all a circle of life, people, you know. And that, think about who you are, what you want, and who you're speaking with. So right now, what I want you guys to do is do a little brainstorming. We can talk in the chat. You can do things on paper. And I want you to write out things like a mind map, different words for everything that we've gone. It doesn't have to be in order. If you are a very ordered person, go ahead. That's what you do. But other things are like mind maps, lists. No, you can have headings. And in about 5 minutes, we're going to start talking about this again. And just if you want advice on different things, we'll definitely have Q&A in 5 minutes, but within that 5, you can also ask. And then after the questions, then you're going to practice. Oh yeah, you're going to speak up for yourself. Your face is going to be on the screen. So I'm giving you 5 minutes, okay? watching you. Hey, Lori, can you mute one of the people? We got birds going on here. And I know for some that can be distracting.
Sure. Holly Marie, can you just recap that was who you are, what you want, and what was the third one?
Okay. It's going in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
One minute warning. Okay, our 5 minutes is up. So do we have questions? You can put them in the chat. You can put up your hand, physical hand, or the emoji. Questions are how we learn. Don't all rush at once. Yeah. Okay, so the call to action is what you want people to do. Action, right? It's, do you want them coming to your website? Do you want them buying a certain product? Do you want them referring someone to fill a certain position? And what do you have going on? Are you having a seasonal sale? Because inventory, it takes up space, it's costing you, and you want to bring in new products. Whatever you want going on, whatever you want people to do, action, and you're calling them to do it. Think of it as you're inviting them to spend their money with you. I say that because we're all business women, so you're very welcome, Tracy. And remember, no teasing Tracy's cat with bird calls. Okay. Do we have any more questions before we start practicing with each other? We're a small group, so we're not going to do breakout rooms.
Ellie, do you have a question?
Yeah, just a quick question. So I'm multifaceted in what I do. So do I narrow it down to just one item at a time?
Yeah, because this is an introduction, and that you just want to narrow it down. It's also an invitation for them to find out more about you. Whenever you give them too much, they're like, okay, this is over, because they're thinking every time you talk with them, you're going to tell them too much. I know it's really hard for us because we want them to know everything, even when you're pitching. Less is best.
Okay, I need a few more minutes.
Yeah, give her. We're going to do back and forth.
And I think Renee might have had a question. Renee, did you have a question?
Madam?
Yes, I did. So these 10-second intros we could equate them with like an elevator pitch. Because I'm just thinking the call to action, if I'm introducing myself to someone, I don't know if I go straight to call to action. I probably leave that part off many times if I'm just introducing myself, because we've just met.
You can do that.
Okay.
You can do that. If that's how you roll, that's how you roll. It's not like I'm going to be behind you every moment, like in the bushes. I'm like, she didn't do a call to action. If it's not who you are, it's not who you are. But I like to, you get it out there and stuff.
Yeah.
And call to action, it doesn't have to be so obvious. Yes, I know I'm louder. I know I'm a bit more outgoing and stuff, but you don't have to be. There's no rule in the world that says the best speakers are the loudest. They frequently aren't. I have seen and heard some very bad presentations over the years and competitions. I'm like, why? Some people are all sizzle, no steak. And that you decide what comes out of your mouth. Simple as that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And
I'm glad that you came on camera just for this. I'm like, yeah.
You're very funny. Wow. I've been laughing the whole time.
Yeah. I embraced who I am, which is this. It's quite nice. I literally get to be myself all the time. It's quite nice.
That's great. Thank you.
We got some more questions. And it's okay when we practice if you're not quite ready, because this is how you're going to get some things out. You're like, well, I got two of them. I know how to say hello and how to say my name. That's fine. We're practicing. I worked with some pretty terrified people over the years, like from teenagers to people decades older than me. It's everyone. I have my niche. And it doesn't matter. I don't care where you come from. Well, I care, but not in the way that people are like pigeonholed. I deal with people's anxiety literally all the time. And the only way you're going to get through it is if you let yourself have a voice. So I'm now letting you introduce yourselves. This is the official call to action. Yay. See, it can be on its own as well. So do we have our first victim, our first volunteer? And it can't be me because all I do is talk. So this is your sign if you've been waiting to talk about yourself, but you thought, no, it's going to make me sound obnoxious or full of myself. No, no, no. The world wants to know about your existence. This is your sign, whether it's in this workshop or out in the world, to start introducing yourself. So who was our first brave soul? Come on.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
My name is Sam, and I am an author. I wrote a book called The Walls of Yanni, and I'm looking to reach mostly female audience.
Mm-hmm.
It's a romance, thriller, drama novel, and the reason I wrote it is to inspire and bring hope to women that have experienced domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can think of.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's too many of us who have those scars that are invisible.
Mhm.
And that, well, I thank you for this is a solid freshman effort. I want you to take away some of the passive language and that you are an author. This is your book. You don't have to say, I've been writing a book. This is your book. It is for female audiences. You're not that you're searching out. You are stating that it's for those female audiences.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Being a writer and putting your work out into the world, it's very personal. It's very brave. It makes you very vulnerable.
Yes, that's correct.
So I wish you great success with this.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, man. Who's next? And I give detailed feedback, as you can see. I don't just say that was shit. I say that was shit because you can tell I worked with a lot of men. It's just...
I'll go next.
Angie, to the stage.
Yeah, I'll do it. The birds are going crazy at my house, and they were chirping even more with all the extra bird chirping. It was like a symphony of birds. They really stirred them up in my neighborhood. Anyway, sorry. So this is hard to do, eh? But it's really important that we learn how to do it. So I'm really happy that you're here, Holly Marie, and your feedback is great already too, and you're so awesome. And that's what I've been doing too, embracing my own authenticity. So hi everyone, my name is Angie. I'm on a mission to change the world through changing myself and helping others change. I'm the owner operator of Angie Lynch Consulting, and yeah, give me a call. Let's collaborate to mobilize your potential too.
Okay.
Too many words, eh?
Well, yeah, but that's natural. But what kind of consulting are you?
Well, this is what's so weird. Yeah, so
because I have no clue from that intro. I'm like, that's Angie. I like Angie. Awesome. I still don't know what Angie does.
And I'm kind of like LA. I do a whole bunch of stuff. So I combine personal development and organizational development to create positive change on an individual level or in organizational for yeah, I don't know. I guess I got to get.
I would say I would just say personal development. I am the consultant for personal development, and that'll lead people to ask you what exactly kind of personal development, because it's not as generic as consulting, which people are like, well, I can just throw that away. But it's getting people interested. And they're like, oh, what kind of personal development? And the more you practice these, and you definitely don't have to have one, because this is always changing, right?
Yeah.
And that whether it's what room you're in or what stage of business you're in, whether you're testing new things out, you're strengthening your own position, or you're just kind of phoning it in, because some days we got to do that. We're like, well, I signed up to go to this event and I have to go because I said I would. Sometimes it's good to have these in your back pocket. You're just like, yeah, I'm going to show up. Because sometimes, a lot of times people don't notice because they have their own phobias and stuff as well. We're a majority of introverts. For as outgoing I'm an introvert. I had a nap before this. I will have a nap after this. I worked in hospitality. Every time I go to conferences pre-pandemic, I have survival skills to get through those. I do not do the party. The crowds, just, there's things in that. You just got to figure out what's your vibe. And again, you don't have to tell them everything, but you have to tell them enough about who you are that it can continue the conversation. Because a great introduction leads to a great conversation. You want that back and forth. Who's next? I'm excited to hear you guys.
I'll go.
Hey, Serena!
Serena or Tracy?
Right. Which?
I think
thought it was-
Tracy spoke up first, and I will go after this.
Oh.
yeah.
I didn't hear half of it, so
Okay.
pick whoever's going. Remember, I'm hearing impaired, so you gotta be clear.
Sure, I'll go. I'm Tracy. Okay, hi, I'm Tracy Rowe, landscape designer, horticulturalist, and recreationist, offering therapeutic landscape design, recreation, and horticultural programming to all that will ignite knowledge, passion, hope into the lives of individuals of all ages, skills, and abilities. Check out my Instagram and Facebook page for more information.
That's great for a bio. It is in that, like, if they were asking, it's like Tracy to the state and it's explaining who you are. If it was a face-to-face, I would cut it down. There are some words that you're repeating, and that's fine for longer presentations and stuff, but within 10 seconds, again, I'm partial to 5, but that's me. But that also takes into account some people speak slower, some people speak quicker. I used to speak a lot quicker because I come from a francophone area and I didn't realize how francophone until I left home. I was not from Sault Ste. Marie. Let's just go with that. Yeah. So in a face-to-face, I would cut that down a little bit because where Angie didn't give us enough, you're giving us a little too much, but not too much. But I do like that you're specific and you have a confident voice. And I'm like, yeah, I like it. So come on down, Serena.
Well, thank you. Thank you for giving me my turn. And so this is what I got written down. I too have like multiple things going on, but I picked the easiest one for today.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah.
All right. Hi, my name is Serena. I help people relax with food reflexology. I am a certified reflexologist. Feel free to reach out to me anytime when you need a foot massage at the comfort of your home.
Oh, I like her call to action. Not just because I like being pampered, but she's specific and she's personable. And that when in your introduction, you're saying reflexology a few times, you can just keep it to, I am a certified reflexologist, because I understand that certifications are important. I like the cadence of your voice, and I really like that call to action. It's like this and this. It's not just you can give a foot massage in the home, because some people don't understand what reflexology is. but you're coming to their home. You're like, you're now a VIP service. That's what I think. Whenever someone comes to your home to perform a service for you, especially something so personal, I'm like, yeah, VIP.
So you think I can cut out like this? You think I can cut out my second sentence because I said my name is Serena. Then right afterward, I said I help people relax with reflexology, and then the next. Yeah, you think I can
you can cut out the first one because I think it's important that people know that you're certified, because whenever it's those certain services, knowing that someone is certified, that they've been held to a standard is quite important. You've just elevated yourself.
All right, okay. All right, that sounds great.
Yeah. Also, as we go through people, if you want to try again with a different intro, we can do that too. We got time. As I said, I told Lori, I'm like, well, this could be really short or really long because it's all about participation. And I got a free afternoon today, so.
Yeah, okay, that sounds cool.
Wednesdays this month are a little more chill than the rest of the week.
Oh yeah. I actually was also thinking maybe afterward I can reach out to you to ask for some advice for Toastmaster as well, because I recently
I put for anyone, my link tree is in the chat. It's got my LinkedIn, it's got my website, it's got the Instagram that I just started, it's got the LinkedIn for my page, it's got the Facebook for my business. The Facebook business, there's a lot of memes about anxiety on there. So if you want to follow some stuff, it's like when I go out to do things. I'm not as active this summer because it's my summer of development. I'm putting together digital products to release in the fall if everything goes right with my funding. But there's a lot of stuff that I put out there that makes you think, and it's free. Okay.
Yeah.
So who is my next lady? Cian?
I'll go.
Yeah.
Is it okay to use props?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm going to pretend, we are at a face-to-face and that's that. So I've got this beautiful basket on my arm.
Cool.
And I say, hi, I'm Sean Pritchard. I'm a willow farmer and the head weaver at Wind in the Willow. We grow willow and weave it into sustainable pieces like gorgeous shopping baskets. What plastic bag would you like to replace with this beautiful, strong, handmade, organic willow basket?
Oh, she's good. She's good. Everyone pay attention to Sean. Yeah. And she's using advanced skills. And I like, you set the scene. And that you're like, I'm in a face-to-face. I'm going to have this basket on my arm. I know who I am. I know what I do. And I know you want to replace the plastic bag with this willow basket. That's the way it's done.
Thank you. I've really struggled with this, and I've got a few different things I did, so it's easier for me to put it into a context. So thank you very much.
It is. It's one of the best things. You're practicing, you're doing different things. I can imagine it's going to be different whether you're at a market, in a store, talking to suppliers versus customers. There may be there's a lot of corporate stuff where they want personalized things. So maybe a company, they're like, you're going to tell them something differently. They want, year end, they want all of their thank you baskets to be your baskets versus you're at a market and it's an individual. I really like this. This is good. Yeah. Keep going. Keep making more for other ones. Putting things into context, putting yourself in. This is your improv. Love it. Love it. Who's next? And the people off camera, if you're on the phone and that you can join in as well. I'm not quite sure because not everyone has great internet, right? And that I've lived in some northern communities and rural communities. You're very welcome to participate as well. I want to hear your voice. And I scared someone off. That's okay. They showed up.
Sorry,
Okay.
yeah, that was Michelle. She had to leave to go to work. So, but she
That's
said, thank you
okay.
very much.
Hey, wait, for most of this, I was working for someone else. And now EI is paying for it. I ended my contract and now EI is paying for my summer of development. So I'm like, yeah, I want to develop products to be, don't have to constantly be giving ourselves, right? So this is the time to do it.
Okay.
Has someone else? Yeah, come on down.
All right. Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Renee. My passion is to convey a clear message that resonates through columns and speaking, and to do the same for you. I am the founder of Expressing You Communications, and I look forward to hearing when I'll hear from you soon.
Cool. Okay.
That last line. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's.
I'm working on the call.
Yeah, and I would recommend switching the middle, like after your name, switch those two parts, but keep the call to action at the bottom. I find that you're kind of tripping over your words. You're not quite sure of the words that you're using. You haven't found exactly yet what you want to say. That's the vibe I'm getting. Is you're like not quite sure, but again, this is why we practice. Keep working on it, and maybe it's you need a few times to let it flow. We need to let things flow. Whether you're quiet or loud or in between,
yes,
find your flow.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Do we have anyone else? Tanya? Or Ochawa?
I'll go next. Oh, Tanya, go ahead.
No, you go. Go ahead.
Oh my God, we're in a Canadian standoff. Okay.
I just said it.
Sure. All right. I don't have a closing or a call to action quite yet, so I'll start with that.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, my name is LA and I'm through personal assisting, independent consulting. I encourage others in setting up routines, finding connection points, and building relationships in personal and professional manners.
Okay. Confident voice, good pace. I wouldn't give them a list of what you're doing. Okay. I would want them to ask you what exactly you do.
How would you change that, Holly Marie?
Okay. Okay, we can go about this one or two ways. One is, what do you like most in your job? Like, which of those duties that you like doing the best, or you are the best at? Because maybe sometimes whenever we're great at something, we don't necessarily like it, but we're great at it.
I'm really great at creating the connection points and setting up systems.
Okay. So you can either focus on that, or the other one is, what do you do the most? Because sometimes it's the same thing, but sometimes it's two different things. What you do best and what you do most can be two different things.
Well, I do a multiple of things. I currently do personal assisting, and I just started out doing independent consulting and personal coaching. So in saying that, what I do most of the time is I spend my time with a headset connecting with my clients, booking appointments and doing virtual assisting.
See, that felt a lot more natural and more impact than what you had said before. Honestly, yeah, and that I spend my days on a headset connecting. Yeah.
Okay.
And that sometimes it's what we're just saying in regular conversation versus what we plan out that ends up being the best. And the other thing I
Thank you.
want you to think about specifically is what you want to be doing. What do you want to be the full time? And it can't be all these things. I know. I'm giving you things to think about. You're gonna be lying awake. You're like, why did Holly Marie ask me that?
Yes, I've heard this
I
before.
liked her at first. I
I-
don't like her anymore. She's making me think.
No, I like all of them equally, and
No.
I'm in a very unique position where I can choose to do what I need and what I want when I want.
Okay. All right. But in a conversation, you gotta pick who you want to be in that moment. And we're allowed to be different things at different times. Okay.
I'll work on this. Thank you.
Yeah. You can have one for more general audiences, and you got to think about general terms. Don't overload them with like a list of things, because again, this is just the intro. You can invite them. You can say, I do this, but I do so much more than just this, to let them know that you are LA. And you got all these things going down. Tanya, come on camera. It's your time.
Hello.
There she is.
Okay.
Introduce herself.
Oh my goodness, you won't believe it. I had it all ready to go in chat and it disappeared. So I'll just do it. I'm winging it. Happy Wednesday. How are you winning today? My name is
into it.
Tanya Moore Lynch, and I am the ADHD expert that you were meant to meet today. My mission and passion in life is to educate and advocate for those with unique brain wiring.
Ooh.
ADHD is the entrepreneur superpower, and there's a great chance that you are part of the lost generation, a woman who has never been diagnosed. Please contact me. I'd love to speak with you and share my knowledge. Thank you.
Cool. I'm into it. It feels a little bulky right now, but again, this is our first time and we're practicing, and you can winnow it down and stuff. And you got to think, a lot of the times when we're in these conversations, people can ask you more. You can split up that intro because you did give us a lot of knowledge. Really great. I do like your phrasing. I do. I really.
It was much better because I had it written, but I was.
But
thank you.
that's what we're doing and stuff. But you can definitely split it, because I can see, like, if you parcel it out just right, they're gonna ask you more. They're gonna continue the conversation, and what half of what you had in that intro that you just did will continue on in that conversation, and it'll be more of a back and forth.
It always is. It always is. Holy Mary.
Yeah. Holy Mary. Oh my God.
And you know, people legit fall from the sky to me. The minute I bring up ADHD, I get it's an amazing thing.
It's probably like a lightning rod. And that,
it is.
see, again, you're using specific words in that.
And honestly, I am so grateful to come on this, because I need to compact and to do it's just giving us the opportunity to, like you say, you can just say something, make an impact. And absolutely, people do come back. And thank you, Holy Mary. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And thank you, Lori, for setting this up. I love her. She is great.
I think Lori likes me. I think Lori likes having my workshops. So we're working on getting me into more PARO stuff, like the boot camps. Because speaking is a skill that's not taught in Canada like it is in the US. And it should be part, especially for business.
And your speaking repertoire is fascinating. Love it. Great.
Yeah. And
That's
I teach
great work.
There's no one way and stuff. Some people they need to be taught how to compact, as you said. Other people need to be brought out of their shell. Other people, they need to learn to embrace their vocabulary, and that speaking in general terms doesn't always work. It can be too general. And
No,
other
this is
people-
a phenomenal, great training, really grateful. Wow.
This is literally what I do. I'm just like, I live this, and I consume content. I'm always going to be learning. It's always the way I've been. And I
And
come
you're
from
meant
a
to do
wide
this.
background.
You make a difference. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And that. Do we have our last lady? Do you want to come on camera and talk to us? You don't have to, but it'd be nice.
She might not be available right
Yeah,
now.
that
I think.
happens.
Yeah.
I've had days like that where I'm in the webinar. It's like it's time to have camera off, lying down. I have chronic illness too, so this is why self-employment works. And that I have the world's best boss that insists that I take care of myself first. So, yeah. Does anyone have a second intro that they want to road test out? Giver, Tracy.
Okay, I shortened it.
Coolio.
Okay, so I said, hi, I'm Tracy Rowe, owner of Ecological Landscapes. I offer landscape consultation, design, and project management, as well as horticultural programs and assistance for individuals requiring supports at home or in the community.
Okay. I would remember to pause in there so people can soak in. Because you're like, did it, like on the horse and like, we do need to pause. And I know you did that just so I could teach people about pauses. I know you, Tracy. You did that just to be an instructional aid. I know. Isn't Tracy great? But yeah, and the big thing is that you need to practice these different phrases so that they become, eventually you will not need the little notepad. It's okay to keep it, and you can have different things. I used to give out when I did in person. This is my original logo back in the day. And the exact thing that's on your sheet, it would just be my logo and this. And so that way they could slip it in, because we all did networking, right? We went to these events, and if their brain was going to leave them, they could add this. And I left a lot of white space too, so that they could scribble on it. It's like, you don't write out everything. I don't want them in like bubble wrap, but I'm gonna let you have some training wheels. And you can just take things in a cart, it fits in. I know women's fashion, they don't like to give us pockets, but there are some. Or you can hide in some areas. If you're like me, you can hide probably a box lunch and several kittens in here. But there's places you can stash your hair. I stash things everywhere. I'm very sneaky that way. So yeah. But you can keep your notes, but remember, one day I want you not using them. I'm your fairy godmother. I know what you're doing, even though I'm not there. And I know whenever you're gonna have these great introductions, you're gonna be like, Holly Marie is so proud of me right now. And you know what? You're right. You're right. We
Can I
have
have a second go?
Yeah, give her.
Okay, so I went with, my name is Sam. I am the author of the book, The Walls of a Yanny, and my audience is primarily females, because my aim is to inspire and encourage women of domestic violence.
Better. Yes.
Okay.
You're learning, you're going with it. And I would say you sounded more confident this time as well, Sam.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, as you practice. And I know authors, you have these great big minds. You're world builders, but it can be difficult for you guys to talk and get out there.
Yeah.
And that you have a lot to share, but it's in one way and not necessarily another. And that's okay. But I do encourage creative types to embrace other means of communicating. Some people, they're like, no, I just want the paint to talk for themselves, or the dance, or the play or different things, but we want to hear about you as a person representing your art.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that was, see, I love it when people take feedback and they grow from it. And sometimes even feedback's telling me, no, I do not agree with you. That's not what I do. And honestly, I don't get offended. I just don't get.
I'd love a second go.
Yeah, give her.
So it's still a little shaky just because this is so awesome.
His life.
I agree with Tanya, like right on. This is so helpful. I've never had to condense. I'm a talker. You can
I know, it's hard. It's hard.
My name is Angie. I love to do facilitation, training, and tarot card readings. And you might wonder what they all have in common. But they're all designed to create change and improvement with it, whether it's with ourselves, our organizations, our employees, our clients. And so I need to stop there. Now I need to also figure out.
Yeah. The beginning was really good.
Yeah. Thanks.
Really interesting. See, you went from being very generic to being very interesting.
So that's cool. You're very helpful. Thank you so much.
This is what I live for. I'm like, yeah.
So, yeah.
And you need that outside voice. You need someone who's not like active in your business, but is active in like again, this is what I live. And if I'm not giving you good advice, I'm going out of business. But having the outside voice, someone who's not in your family, not in your friend group, doesn't have money in your business, like a partner. I'm not your client and I'm not your supplier. But I'm very interested in your success, and you're not going to do it. Coolio, yeah. I love LinkedIn for whoever connected. Yeah, I prefer LinkedIn. And yes, you can always drop questions. This is probably the time to bring it up, but if you ever want coaching and you reach out, I do meet a lot of people, not gonna lie. Let me know that we met through PARO. There are certain organizations that if you are connected with them, if I met you through them, you get a discount. Just let you know, okay? Whether it's workshops, because I know people part of circles, do workshop stuff or private coaching. Again, if you reach out to me and you got to help me with my memory, saying, hey, this is where I met you, I'm through PARO, I will factor in a discount automatically. You don't even have to ask it. I'll tell you. I'll be like, this is the price and I gave you a discount. Yeah. Do I have any questions about speaking in general and anxiety? Because I work with that a lot. It doesn't tend to be the mechanics of speech. Like, yes, there's a lot of that and phrasing and different things, but I think a third of what I deal with clients is working them through their speaking anxiety. Little coping skills. Giver.
Here's a question for you, Holly. And perhaps others have the same, but I do tend to say more words likely than necessary. I talk, I can talk a lot. I love to listen. I love to learn and listen, but I'd love a tip or trick that you can have one off the top of your head that you can share for a verbal processor.
Okay, so you got the verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
I have spent most of my life with it. I'm multilingual and I'm hearing impaired, although I didn't know that. So I can be very all over the place. You have to find a way to center yourself. You can catch yourself when you're speaking. I speak considerably slower than I used to. And as you can see, I get excited. And when I get excited, I speed up. I want you to plant this into your head. Just because you can speak that quickly or speak that much doesn't mean people are understanding you at that speed. As you'll notice, every time I teach you guys something, I will slow down and repeat it. But remember, just because you can talk that fast doesn't mean people can listen that fast. There may be 2 ears, 1 mouth, but you got to slow down for them to take everything in. And not everyone's going to understand at the same speed as well. We live in Canada. We are a multilingual society. You have tons of people that they know more than 1 language. English isn't their first language. We have hearing impairments. We have visual impairments. We have intellectual disabilities. A lot of this it's invisible. A lot of the times I pick out the best presenters and the winners in competition because I understand if I'm resonating with them on several levels, I already know who's won. I have one CEO, he's for an entrepreneurship incubator. I met him before the pandemic. And when I was explaining about all this, he's like, I bet you know who checks out of a meeting before they even know. I'm like, yep. That's why I like seeing the faces. I understand not everyone can be on video for a variety of reasons, and all of them are valid. I want you to know, but I read a lot. And sometimes it's not even body language, it's tone as well, because I can hear, but it's all noise. And my translation is different. Add in multiple languages that I know, and it gets a little confusing. So I want you to remember that just because a person is there and they may be nodding and going along with you, but there's no guarantee that it's getting in. And if it's getting in, that it's soaking in, and you want people to soak. So when you find yourself, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to repeat and find your flow. I hope that helps you, Tanya. And others.
Seriously. I've been looking for my flow for years, but thank you, Holly.
And it can come and
you're
go.
right. And I can hear it in you. Like I can hear just your words are impactful, and when you slow it down, they become more meaningful.
I've devoted myself to this. That's a big part of it too.
It's great food for thought, and I'm so grateful.
Share this. Share this. You came to this webinar. PARO is paying me. This is grocery money. It's now out in the ether, and that you don't have to keep these locked up. And that, and if people are like, where you like Holly Murray, hire her. Because I want to go from groceries to organic groceries. I'm not gonna lie.
Legit. And you know what, Holly? I'll say the same thing out loud to all of the ladies, with myself included.
Yep. Yeah. I think Renee had something, or LA, come on.
Okay. In this time, I've been listening to you, but I've been working on 2 different ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I can't narrow it down that much. All right.
You can have several introductions. No one said it had to be one. If it's only one, I am very disappointed in you guys. I'm just gonna say.
So here's the first one. Ready? Hey y'all, my name is LA, and I spend most of my day on a headset connecting with clients, instilling confidence, and setting up appointments. I look forward to connecting with you.
Yes! This is a woman I want to have a conversation with.
Okay.
I want to hear more. See, that's the intro you're going with. And then and then the ensuing conversation, you can list. You're allowed to list at a later time, just not the first time. That's the one. That's going to be your gold standard. I want you to have more because you
should highlight this. Yeah, I should highlight this one. Okay. So let's highlight that one. Can I do my other one?
Yes, you can.
Oh my gosh, everyone, thank you so much. That's awesome. All right. This one's going to be new. So ready. Hey y'all, my name is LA, your independent Norwex consultant. I use microfiber cloths and water to clean my house. I recently started to share how Norwex has made a difference in my life through personal experience with the products. I'm very much looking forward to connecting with you to let you know how this journey has gone.
I'm okay with it.
That one needs some work.
Yeah, it needs some work. It's bulky in the second half, not the first half.
Okay.
You do still you have a clear voice, you have a good pace for understanding, and you have confidence in your voice. And it's also, you maintain eye contact and stuff and that. And I'm like, yeah, not like eye contact. But
I do a lot of live calls and a lot of Zooms.
Yeah.
Lori can attest to this. So can Tracy.
And that. Oh, you made me think of something. So we have these live calls and different things, and our cameras are all in different places. Some people, they're a little weirded out by it in the camera. Here's a little trick. It makes it a little more personable. You get a little banana or something, and you put it where the camera is, like behind the camera, like a little Smurf, a little flower, whatever. You're talking to that. And that can help with eye contact on camera. And that, because we anthropomorphize so many things, and that we humanize even the littlest things, right? And that, how many people talk to their coffee maker? It's just like, it's you and me.
Does your water bottle count?
Yeah.
Talk to the water bottle all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It helps us. And that, because we have this disconnect. We're connecting with more people, but we have a screen. So it's both a help and a hindrance. So that's a little cute tip for you today. It's like, oh, that's super cute. She told me to talk to a banana. Yeah. I think Renee wanted to say something. I've been getting some body language off of her. I've seen her little square. I'm like, Renee.
Yes, what has it been saying? Tell me. What is the body language? What is the body language been saying?
And that, well, you just seem to just kind of keep it into you know what, when you're in conversation or in a crowd, you know someone wants to talk to you. It's like they're interested in you. Sometimes they're interested in you, or they're just interested in you. There's many ways to be interesting in the world. And I was a more active social person years ago. So yeah, I kind of recognize some things, and I'm like, oh, does she have a question? Because also I would do workshops and stuff, and some people, they want to ask questions, but they're like, So I see these little hesitations and stuff. I'm like, I think they have a question. I think they do.
Actually, I wanted to do a retake. So yes, that was it. Yes.
See? I knew it. I knew it. She wanted to talk to us, everybody. Renee.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Renee. I love all things communications because it is the lifeblood of any relationship. As my business name says, Expressing You Communications, I would love to express your message. Check me out online.
Yes, that is the wording I want you to use. That's going to be your gold standard one. You're going to practice it so it flows. Sean, you have a great day. Keep replace those plastic bags with willow baskets. Okay? But yeah, Renee, use that. Use that. Practice it so it flows. And everyone's going to have a different, times and that. And sometimes you'll be really great with your intro, but then the situation you feel uncomfortable, and that's okay too. And you find yourself tripping, and it's like, just remember, progress isn't linear. Some days we are better than others, okay?
I will. I take that line. Thank you so much.
It's my gift to you. The air in my lungs is the most valuable thing I have to give. I just happen to translate it into words. Well, we are over an hour now. I love it when I have groups that participate. Lori, do you want to start wrapping her up then?
If anybody, I don't know, do you have your contact information? Did you drop it in the chat, did you say?
I did drop it in the chat.
Good. So if anybody thinks of anything, later on today or tomorrow, please feel free to reach out to Holly Marie. And I just want to say thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And thank you so much, Holly Marie, for all this information. I think every one of us, got us moving and thinking about how to be better and introduce yourself. And I know talking to some people, that's something that we all need to work on. So thank you so much for the information, and look forward to having you join again, maybe in the fall, and do another presentation for us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tons of stuff. It's just,
For sure.
time.
Yeah.
Time and energy.
Well,
Okay.
sounds good. And so thank you so much. Appreciate it. And thanks everybody for coming today, and have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Percolate on it.
Thank you.